So I watched two films tonight, and I'm only going to talk really briefly about the first one because I really didn't like it. And that was 2012's Safe House, directed by Daniel Espinosa. I rented it because I'm trying to work my way through Denzel Washington's filmography. I'm more than halfway done. A lot of what I have left is some of the harder to find 80s and 90s films. Like I think I have like three films from the 90s and a couple from the 80s, and then like the bulk of his 2000s action film oeuvre. Um, and some of them I really enjoy. Like The Equalizer, I quite enjoyed. This one was no Equalizer. This movie was boring. It's a spy film that never once, I didn't give a shit about any of the characters. I don't care that the CIA is corrupt. The CIA is always corrupt. Give me a reason to care about the characters because they're always corrupt. Everything is always corrupt when you're a spy. So, you've got to give me more than that. And I didn't give a shit about the Ryan Reynolds character. And Denzel Washington gets top billing and he's barely in the movie. And he deserves better. So, fuck that movie. And also, Vera Farmiga also deserves better. And also, this movie was just like, let's kill all the women. Let's kill all the women. And so that's great. Well, okay, one of the women doesn't die. But, it's just, fuck that movie, okay? That's my review of Safe House. And also, it's one of the highest grossing films of all time. So fuck audiences. You guys are dumb and you're putting your money behind the wrong kind of bullshit. If you keep putting your money behind bullshit movies like Safe House, all we get is bullshit movies like Safe House. That's not okay. Which brings us to the next film, which was a great film, and this is why I saved it for a second, because I knew it would be a better film. And this was Chad Stahelski's and David Leitch's John Wick, starring Keanu Reeves. Now, I don't know why I didn't go see this in theaters, because it was 2014, so it was before I wasn't watching films by men, and I do like Keanu, and the trailer had a lot of neon, and the poster's awesome, and everyone loved it, and for some reason, I just didn't get my butt to the theater to see it, and I'm regretting that now, because this movie kicked ass, and I would have loved to have seen it in theaters. So, sucks to be me, I guess, because this movie was awesome, and I'm sure you've probably already seen it, because I'm 2 years behind in watching this movie, but it's great, and it's a neo-noir kind of revenge thriller. What I liked about it was its references. Well, this is not the only thing I liked about it, but what I found interesting was its references. It's more like a neo-noir, because a lot of what it was inspired by were like 60s neo-noirs, like clearly, and the directors talk about this, but clearly Point Blank is a huge influence on this film. If you've not seen Point Blank and you've seen John Wick, you will love Point Blank. Point Blank is so good. Except that John Wick has a much better reason for all of the mayhem that he is inflicting on the world than Lee Marvin. But they have the same sort of coolness about them as they go about, doing what they're doing. And so that's great. The directors of this had worked with Keanu Reeves as stunt coordinators, I think, or his stunt doubles or something on the Matrix trilogy. So they had known each other really well, and the script was a blacklist script, which is not always a good thing, because sometimes some of those blacklist scripts turn into shit movies. But this one turned into a great film, and I think that just it was the right bunch of people tinkering on it till they got it just right. And what was so wonderful is it's a great shoot 'em up, right? And if you don't like shoot 'em ups, this movie's not for you, because it's a shoot 'em up, and there's a lot of people dying in this movie. But what's great about it is that some shoot 'em ups don't create a world, and so you just have all this carnage, and you're like, but why? And in this, you have such a rich world created. You not just with the Wick character, who is well developed, but also just the world in which he finds himself pulled back into. There's clearly a logic and a rule set that this world follows, and there's a lot of backstory that you don't see, but you know is there, and you know that they've done the work as filmmakers to have all that, so that they reference things that you don't know, but you know they've thought of, and so it all sort of coalesces into this really rich dark underworld that was just so much fun to be a part of and to follow as he's just shooting people left and right. Um, and the cinematography is gorgeous. The art direction is just fantastic. And then you've got all these great performances. You've got Keanu just like killing it. And then you've got Ian McShane out of nowhere and Dean Winters. And then John Leguizamo for like 2 scenes, but it's like he's so good in those 2 scenes that you're like, what? I forgot how great you are, John Leguizamo. And then Willem Dafoe just coming in and being Willem Dafoe because he's one of the greatest actors that we've been left with. So one of the producers is Eva Longoria. I wanted to point that out. And also the editor was a woman. It's very wonderfully edited. It's very smooth. You get a few moments of really great cross-cutting to build tension. It's a film that never lags. You're just sort of on the edge of your seat the whole time. And you're pretty sure that he's not going to die because he's Keanu and everything. But you're like, dude, how are you still alive? And there's a lot of just the right amount of humor to make it just so much fun to watch. So I would really, really recommend this film. And I actually have been avoiding watching the trailer for the sequel because I hadn't seen the original and I didn't know if it was going to spoil me for this one. So part of why I finally was like, shit, I need to rent this is everyone was losing their shit over the trailer for the second one. And I was like, I can't even watch it until I've seen the first one. So I will hopefully see the second film in theaters. Unfortunately, so this one was an October release. It was actually released almost exactly 2 years ago to the day. It was October 24th. And they're dumping the sequel in February, which is kind of a bummer because often February releases are sort of where you just throw things that are crap. But I'm hoping that this is not crap and that they're maybe thinking that it will clean up because of all the other crap that's being released in February. I'm not sure. But I'm such a fan of Keanu, and I'm glad that I finally saw this film. So you should definitely check it out. It's from 2014. It's directed by Chad Stahelski and David Leitch, and it was written by Derek Kolstad. And it is fantastic. That is John Wick. Safe House is a piece of crap movie, and if you put your money behind movies like that, you deserve the crap that you get. And I'm going to keep telling you that. Meaning, put your money behind good films. Just do it. You can do it. Vote with your dollars. All right. Have a good night.